Familiar, you're familiar. So if you don't know by now, then you should probably get familiar.
Hello students. So now in this video part number 8, okay, so let us discuss the proof of Thevenin's theorem. So in the last video I have told how a given complicated network can be simplified according to Thevenin's theorem, right? So that means, so in the 4 steps we can reduce the given complicated network into simplified network. So the same figure I am considering here. So this is the complicated network in the figure A, okay, and then in the next step, as I told in the different steps, so first we need to measure the voltage across the open terminals by removing the load resistor. So measure the Thevenin's voltage across the same terminals A and B, and then in the next step you just short circuit the voltage source, okay, in series with the internal resistance. By assuming internal resistance is equal to 0, we can proceed also. So across the terminals A and B we can find out the equivalent resistance, okay, that is called Thevenin's resistance. And with the help of Thevenin's resistance and by knowing the Thevenin's voltage across the terminals A and B, we can just design the Thevenized circuit, so in which only one voltage source, that is Thevenin's voltage, is in series with the Thevenin's resistance is connected, okay, and this removed load resistor in the first step is connected back into the last circuit, so that whatever the voltage we can measure across the load resistor, that is called VRL, okay, voltage across the load resistor VRL, and current through the resistor RL is IL, okay. So this IL and VRL measured in the Thevenized circuit, simplified circuit, is same as the voltage across the RL in the first circuit, complicated network, and IL through the same load resistor, okay. So if you are able to verify those values are equal, then that is the proof of Thevenin's theorem, okay. Now let us see how to proceed for that, okay. So consider again the same diagrams. So in the first figure, okay, the figure A, so first let us try to get the equations for the load current, okay. Let us try to find out the load current through the RL, okay, according to this given network, okay. So that is before Thevenizing. What is the equation for IL through RL? So for that let us try to follow the simple laws, that is not the Thevenin's theorem. So what is that simple law before Thevenin's theorem we have discussed? That is Kirchhoff's law, isn't it? So use that Kirchhoff's laws first, okay. So let in this circuit first you consider the loop currents. So what are the loop currents? So in the first loop, let us say, so this is the first closed part of the circuit, okay. So I is the current I am considering obtained from the source. What is the current through passing through R1 and R3? So that is I, okay. So another loop is there in circuit, right? So this is again a closed loop. So I will consider in this part of the loop the current is passing through the load, isn't it? So that is IL, okay. So IL is passing through R2, RL and R3, okay. So this is one conventional direction, clockwise direction. I am considering the flow of current. Here also there is a flow of current in the clockwise direction, okay. So then if I and IL be the loop currents in the above circuit, then by applying the Kirchhoff's voltage law, okay. So according to Kirchhoff's voltage law, we have to consider for each loop, so what are the products of current and resistance? So that is equal to the voltage total EMF present in the particular loop, okay. Now consider the loop, first loop, that is in which the current is I. So what is the product of current I with total resistance in the loop? So R1 plus R3 is the total resistance, isn't it? So R1 plus R3 multiplied to the current I. According to Ohm's law, you can take the product of these two as the EMF in the total EMF lost in the loop, okay. And then minus, so there is another current passing through the same branch of the resistance here, that is R3. So that is IL. IL is also passing through R3 but in opposite direction, isn't it? See, I is in the downward direction, whereas in the same direction if you consider the loop but passing through the resistor R3, this is IL in opposite direction. So now consider that current and resistance also in the same equation, but now in opposite direction you have to put negative sign, isn't it? So minus R3 into IL, okay. If the currents are in same direction, then you have to consider the total, okay. The total means, so product of resistance and current resistance and current in the entire loop, right? Now it is opposite direction, so I have to consider the negative sign here, clear, okay, is equal to, so whatever the EMF present in the network, that is only V, so equal to V, okay. So according to KVL, we get this equation 1. Then look at the second loop. Okay, in the second loop again, the current passing through that IL is passing through R2, RL and R3. Okay, and in the same resistor R3, the current is passing in the opposite direction with respect to this direction of the current. Okay, now IE becomes opposite to IL, isn't it? I becomes opposite to IL. So first you write that coefficient of I, that is equal to I into R3. Right, so minus R3 into I. So I am considering I mean negative sign here for I because it is opposite to IL. So minus R3 into I. So IL is of course passing through R2, R3 and RL. So I will consider R2 plus R3 plus RL. Total resistance in the loop multiplied by this current IL. Okay. So but is equal to 0. Why it is equal to 0, you know? So it is not, this loop is not consisting of any voltage source at all. So EMF is not equal to considered as V here. So that is equal to only 0. No EMF, it is equal to 0. So that is equation 2 obtained from Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay. So like this we have to simplify the given complicated network by loop wise. Okay. Of course this is not that complicated here. So consisting of only 2 loops, so that you can have 2 equations here. So if there is more number of loops, again you have to go by loop. Okay. So then that is what actually called complicated here. Okay. Now let us see how to simplify these equations to get the current passing through the load resistor RL. Okay. So now you see we have 2 equations. So to simplify these equations to get any particular value. So now what I want here is IL. Okay. Load current is required. So coefficient of IL is R3 here. Coefficient of IL is here R2 plus R3 plus RL. And here another parameter I, coefficient of I is R1 plus R3 and coefficient of I is minus R3. Okay. And this side we have V, this side we have 0. So to simplify for particular value of IL, so what you will do? So consider that part only. So according to Kramer's rule, by applying the Kramer's rule, you can simplify to get a particular parameter. So take that IL. Okay. So IL is equal to, so leaving that part, okay, now remaining coefficients I will write here. So that is R1 plus R3 coefficient of I, okay, and below that we have minus R3 as the coefficient of I, okay, and leaving this part I told, okay, where we are finding the IL, leave that part. So other side we have V and 0, write down that V and 0. So in the modulus, okay, put a modulus like this. It is like actually determinants, okay. And then divided by, so this you have to divide by the coefficients R1, R3, again minus R3, and where you are considering IL, coefficient of that you have to consider in the other determinant. So coefficient of IL is minus R3 and coefficient of IL is here R2 plus R3 plus RL, okay. So R2 plus R3 plus RL, okay. So consider these 2 determinants and divide, okay. So how do you divide this equation? So you know that by cross multiplication we can simplify the equations according to Kramer's rule, correct? So that IL is equal to, so now you look at this. So R1 plus R3 into 0, that is equal to 0, correct? Minus of minus V into R3. So you will get V into R3 here, okay, in the numerator, correct? By cross multiplication this part is equal to 0. So whereas these 2 if you multiply, you will get V into R3, okay, minus V into R3. So already it is minus is considered here because 0 minus of minus, it is like this, correct? So you will get only minus of minus and minus plus, so V R3 only, okay. So what about the denominator by cross multiplication? So divided by, okay, divided by is because of this divided by. Then by cross multiplication R1 plus R3, correct, R1 plus R3 into R2 plus R3 plus RL, it is here, okay, just multiply these 2. Then okay, here minus, so minus into minus again plus, so that is with minus sign again you will get the minus sign here. So R3 into R3 square, okay, yes. So minus R3 square. Is it clear? Okay. So I hope you are getting how to simplify these equations. So in the numerator determinant by cross multiplication we get only VR3, and in the denominator part by cross multiplication we get R1 plus R3 into R2 plus R3 plus RL and minus R3 square. Okay, now so in the next step you see R1 plus R3, okay, R2 plus RL plus R1 into R3. So this is actually by simplifying the denominator part only we can get this equation like this. Okay, so R1 plus R3 is there already, so R2 plus R3 plus RL multiplied here and minus R3. Okay, simplify the entire equation. So here after simplification we will get this equation like this. Okay, I am not showing that steps here, so directly you can remember this part. Now divide, we have R1 plus R3 in denominator, you know, so that you have to eliminate. So how do you eliminate? Dividing the numerator and denominator by R1 plus R3. Okay, look at here. So V into R3 is there already, divided by R1 plus R3. Okay, and if you divide R1 plus R3 in the denominator, so this part cancels, left with, okay, this part cancels here, left with R2 plus RL. Okay, plus R1 R3, so divided by R1 plus R3. For both the terms I have to divide by R1 plus R3. Okay, so in the numerator also we have divided R1 plus R3, in the denominator also divided by R1 plus R3, we get this equation 4. Okay, so like this we get the equation for current passing through the given load in the complicated network. Okay, so this equation 4, okay, is obtained without simplifying or Thevenizing the given network, not simplified or not Thevenized the circuit, and directly by calculation method. Okay, by various mathematical steps are followed here, and then we get a final equation for the current, so that you can calculate the current through the load. Okay, now the same current to be obtained from the last equation, that is Thevenized circuit, correct? Now let us see how to find that current, and so that it is equal to this IL. Okay, so what we need actually for that? So we need to find out the value of VTH and RTH, isn't it? So that the current passing through the load RL can be calculated as IL here. So that must be equal to this equation, right? So let us continue the procedure here to prove that this IL is same as the IL in the final circuit also. Okay, so first let us try to find out VTH and then RTH. Okay, so here I mentioned how to find VTH. Okay, okay, so now write down the side heading as to calculate VTH. What is that VTH? Thevenin's voltage. Now come to the second figure. Okay, that is already we are following the steps to simplify the given network. In the step B, we removed the load resistor and we have open terminals A and B. Okay, so across the terminals A and B, VTH can be measured. So that voltage across open terminals A and B is same as the voltage measured across R3, because across the source which resistor we have? We have only R3, isn't it? Only R3. So let us say the terminal C and D here now. Okay, so whatever the voltage you measure across the A and B, that is same as the voltage across the resistor R3 across CD, across the terminals C and D. Okay, so that is actually called VTH, right? So from open circuit voltage, so this VCD means voltage across CD is equal to the VTH, and also it is equal to VAB. Okay, so that is the same voltage across the terminals A and B. So what is that voltage according to Ohm's law? Here we have a single loop. Okay, only this closed loop is considered here, whereas the other one is open. Okay, so in this closed loop the current passing through R3 is I. Already we have considered it, isn't it? Same current, I into R3 according to Ohm's law. Okay, so just you write down that I into R3, equation number 5 you will get. Simple, isn't it? Next, and also this current, particularly if you look at this current in the loop, okay, so the current is not only passing through R3, it is also passing through R1 and then R3. So total resistance in the loop is how much? R1 plus R3 is the total resistance. Okay, so by applying the Ohm's law, we can write this current as I is equal to, again, V by, because the voltage source is V, so V divided by R1 plus R3, total resistance, right? So that is equation 6. Clear? Now in the above equation of VCD, or it is also equal to VTH, that is what required here. Okay, Thevenin's voltage is equal to, in place of I. Okay, so that is in the equation 5 we have I, you know, substitute that I as now I is equal to V divided by R1 plus R3. That's it. So we get V by R1 plus R3 into R3 is there, isn't it? So into R3 in equation 5, so write down that also. So finally, the equation for Thevenin's voltage, that is VTH is equal to V by R1 plus R3 into R3 is the equation 7. Okay. Now let us continue to find RTH also. Okay. So VTH part is over. Now we have to calculate RTH from the next part of the circuit here. Okay. Now you see, to calculate RTH, so from the figure C, we will consider the figure C. So we have removed the voltage source, okay, and it is just shorted, consisting of only 3 resistors R1, R2 and R3. Internal resistance small r is equal to 0. Okay, so looking back in the circuit from these open terminals A and B, okay, how do you find the equivalent resistance? So you have to see which resistors are parallel, which resistors are in series, correct? So now in this loop, okay, so R1 and R3 are parallel to each other, right? So if you can assume that, so across these two terminals, okay, from these two corners, you can see that by neglecting this one, R1 and R3 will be parallel to each other. And then you will get one more resistor, that is R3 comes in series, okay, across the terminals A and B. Finally, if you touch the terminals A and B, R1, R3 looks parallel to each other. In addition to that, we have R2 in series. So that you can write the equation for the equivalent resistance as RTH is equal to, so by considering R1 and R3 parallel to each other plus R2 in series. So series resistance must be added here, okay. So whereas parallel resistors, so we have the formula. If the two resistors are parallel to each other, then the equation is R1 R3 divided by R1 plus R3, correct? So plus R2, that is in series, isn't it? So it is R1 R3 by R1 plus R3 is considered here, you know. In case of parallel, so 1 by Rp is equal to, so like 1 by R1 plus 1 by R3, correct? If you simplify this equation, you will get R1 R3 in the denominator, okay, then you will get R3 plus R1, so that is equal to 1 by Rp, right? So that is why Rp is equal to parallel resistance, Rp is equal to reverse, it is R1 R3 divided by R1 plus R3, like that, correct? So series resistance is just added plus 2 plus R2. So now equation 8 is obtained as the Thevenin's resistance, okay. Now by considering the last figure, so that is in which we have VTH, RTH and RL, okay, by applying the Ohm's law, okay, by applying the Ohm's law, what is the current through the load resistor? So just IL is equal to, we have the voltage source VTH, Thevenin's voltage source now, divided by the total resistance circuit is how much? RTH plus RL, correct? So RTH plus RL, okay. So equation 9. Now this equation, in which the simplified Thevenin's voltage and simplified Thevenin's resistance is there, along with the same load resistor in the first circuit, okay. So this must be same as the equation 4, okay, which is obtained by the complicated network, okay. So we can simplify this equation IL so that it is equal to 4. How? Just we have to substitute VTH and RTH, whatever the value of VTH and RTH is obtained. So of course VTH, so by substituting the equation 7 and 8, what do you mean by 7? Equation 7 is actually VTH, that is equal to V divided by R1 plus R3 into R3. Substitute that VTH here. And then RTH is equal to how much? R1, R3 divided by R1 plus R3 plus R2, right? Substitute that RTH here, okay. And plus RL is there already, okay. By substituting equation 7 and 8 in equation 9, okay, equation 9, we can prove that the equations 4 and 9, this equation 4 and 9 are similar. We can prove that the equation 4 and 9 are similar here. So then it just verifies the theorem, that's it, okay. So that is the proof, okay. So hence the proof, we can write finally, hence the Thevenin's theorem is proved, okay. By equating the equations 4 and 9, we can show that Thevenin's theorem is proved here. That's it, okay. Okay, then we'll see the next theorem in the next video.